So you're at my house.
I'm here at your house, at your manor.
Yeah, and we're sitting at our dining table.
Uh-huh.
And you noticed a file on the table, and you asked what it was.
Well, I can just see from here it says Advanced Care Directive. What is an Advanced Care Directive?
When you if you
haven't seen this since my mum was in a nursing home, I reckon.
Well, when you do your will, I was redoing my will because I own properties all around the world.
Well, hopefully I'll be a benefactor, but anyway, whatever.
Yeah. And my lawyer said, "Oh, by the way, you should do this and give it to your doctor." It's, as you said, an advanced care directive.
Is that like? Should they turn off the machines?
Yeah. Do you want me to read out? It's like 5 pages of questions.
Well, yeah, go on, hit me with something.
And put yourself in this position to answer these questions. My current major health problems are.
Well, I'd say being fat, but for you. It's just standard blood pressure, cholesterol.
Yeah.
Just put the standard stuff. Just write that.
Should I write it in now? Or the stuff for
the
people.
standard stuff.
Yeah, hair
nothing
going
major.
Grey, erectile dysfunction.
Saggy, stuff.
You've seen it all before.
Usual stuff.
The following issues matter most to my life.
Walks along the beach.
Yep. He walks on the beach, sitting in front of a log fire.
Getting a good sandwich.
Making a good sandwich. Able to make...
sweet love.
Eating scones. Devonshire tea.
It's a hard question, actually.
The following issues worry me most about my future.
Oh, yeah, wearing a nappy.
Oh, I just hadn't thought of that.
Walking without assistance.
Yeah.
Walking with assistance.
Yeah.
Would you go on a frame? Would you go on a frame? Or would you go, I'm not going on a frame?
Well, my dad, I remember going, he looked at those, he goes, I might get one of those one day. And he got quite excited about it, whereas some people see it as a losing of freedom, whereas my dad saw it as a... So, look, would I use a frame? Yeah, I suppose I'd go walking stick first.
I'd go walking stick first.
Would you go with a straight walking stick or one of those walking sticks with 4 knobs on the end?
I'd get a crook like a shepherd.
Would you hit people with your walking stick?
Yes, definitely.
Whack. I reckon because my dad had one of those little cars that he could drive.
Scooter. I think
scooter. He had one of those we bought for him, and he loved it. It gave him his freedom back because he couldn't drive a car, but he could go down the shops and he had a basket and he'd fill up his basket.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, I reckon you and I
sometimes see them driving on the road. You're like, mate, pick a team. You can't be on the road, buddy. You're not a car. Get on the footpath.
I reckon if you age up a bit quicker, you and I could still be doing. I could drive around in my little trolley round to your house.
Yeah.
And you would be you'd come to the door in your walking frame or walking stick.
Yeah.
Come on in, Glenn. We're still doing somehow related.
Glenn and Dave's tour of Australia on those scooters, on those 4-wheel scooters.
Yeah. Outcomes of medical treatment which are unacceptable to me after illness or injury are
coma. You don't want to be in a coma.
You don't want to be in a coma. But sometimes people come out of coma.
I know that's true.
Okay.
Well, let's put a time limit. How long do a month? After a month.
Oh, I see. So
after a month, pull the plug.
If I'm not.
Well, I don't want to be like Schumacher. Schumacher is he still in a coma? I think he's still in a coma.
Oh, is he?
He's been there for years now.
Yeah, it's terrible.
That's not gonna get any better. Yeah. Skiing accident.
Other people that I would like involved in discussions in my care. Well, obviously, Dave, I'd get you put your phone number down there.
Yeah, put me down there.
Yeah, because you would. And
you know what I'd say? Sorry, has he put? Am I in the will at all? No. Well, forget about it. Beep beep.
If I am nearing death, this is a big one.
There we go.
Okay. Yeah. The following things would be important to me: that I've got clean underpants on.
Clean underpants.
I've got
hotline to God.
Yeah, I've got my hair is done properly. And, Yep.
Had a shave.
I've had a shave. All my nose hairs have been trimmed.
Yeah.
Oh, what do I want next to me? Because a lot of people want I'm not a football fan, so I wouldn't need that. What would
you
I
want a
need?
scarf or something? Or
no, nothing like that. Maybe I'd like
the Russell Coight hat on your head.
A hot chocolate and a jam donut.
Oh yeah. Way to go.
Yeah.
Way to go out.
Yeah. And then what else is there? I consent to I refuse the following medical treatment.
Here we go.
Oh well, I didn't anything.
Anything's fine.
No, I was going to say, anything. Down there where they put there's only one thing we can do. If we don't do it, he's going to die. And then I would say, well, if you're going to put it up there, I'm going to die because you're not putting it up there.
Go with a bang.
Anyway, so if you are, I'm sure you can get this online. Advanced Care Directive, and that what a pleasure that it is. I'm going to fill that out. But thanks for your help on that.
Well, I just think, I know with the people I've had pass away when they're older, they all don't want to be in a nappy. They all want to be able to walk. And once you pass that stage, just let me out of here. As my mum kept saying, just give me a pill. I say, it's not the Matrix, Mum. I just can't give you a pill.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? To take the pain away. But I think once you get to that state, I mean, then again, some people, well, they're still, if your mind's still active, it'd be very hard to make.
I come back to the term quality of life.
Yes.
And if you have no quality of life, remember we had with our cat Torty, she didn't have any quality of life. She couldn't see and she couldn't hear and she couldn't eat. And you're going, no good. So, and you're giving them a gift then by taking away that suffering.
And I want on the record, I'm not changing your nappy. All right.
You would not change my nappy.
I'm not changing
What if we
nappy.
were doing the podcast together? You're there in your frame or your wheelchair, and I go, whoops, I had a mistake. I go, Dave, can you change my nappy for me? Would you not change it?
I'm not changing your nappy.
You've done it before. I haven't done
have.
You've done it plenty of times.
Thousands of times.
But imagine
they're
me
babies.
I put my legs up and you have a bit of talcum powder and you give me a squirt down there of talcum powder and you go, and then whack me on the bum and say, there, well done, Glenn, off you go. You'll be right for another hour or so.
Quick, play the music, Sam. What an image.
Welcome to Somehow Related Now. Please welcome your hosts Glenn Robbins and Dave O'Neill.
Here we are. What an image to...
Yeah, I know. But it's true. You just got to imagine how the little kids, that's what they have to go through. And
I mean, it was always funny, changing nappies and your son would do a wee up in the end or hit the cat on the head. That was a great moment. Nothing beats that.
Would you?
The kid wheezes and hits the cat on the head.
You would have been the first of the era. Not first.
Changing nappies.
I don't think my father would have ever done.
My dad didn't change a nappy.
You're a participating father. Did you have one of those things where you carried the baby around on your chest or on your back?
Very briefly, but I didn't like it. It hurt my back too much.
Yeah.
We were more, and Kieran certainly didn't use it either. So we were just more in the pram or the pusher. But we had like a changing table. You always had an area set aside in your house. Changing table, get the kid up there.
Yeah.
You would have seen it with your grandkids.
Where did you put the soiled? Were you a washing person?
No, we were just. We talked about that, but no, we ended up just being.
Because our neighbours used to put them in the bin, and I used to, and they used to put our bins next to our bin, obviously. Boy, their bin stunk.
Yeah, I know.
Did your bin stink?
Yeah, nappies.
You've got to wrap it up really tight.
Yeah, and nappies also create a lot of rubbish. Like you can tell someone who's got 2 or 3 babies because their bin's just full of nappies.
A cheerio to anyone who's
going through that,
because it's it's the hard yards and
also sometimes I just do an explosive nappy where it would just go everywhere over their jumpsuit. You'd be in a cafe and all of a sudden there'd be a smell. You're like, what's going on? And they've done an atomic nappy, we used to call it.
Which I remember.
Just goes everywhere. You can't.
It's bang like that. It goes bang. Yeah, and it's everywhere. It's like when I went water skiing that time, and I got an enema because I didn't have a wetsuit bottom on. Well, I did the same thing in my Speedos.
Oh, it's awful. I do remember we were trying to toilet train.
Sorry about this.
We were trying to toilet train one of our boys, and he wouldn't. He kept asking for a nappy. And so what happens? They get to a stage where they ask for a nappy and they go to the toilet. And you're like, mate, you can't keep asking for a nappy. You've just got to sit on the toilet, right? And so we denied him nappies. And so he held on for 4 days.
Oh, no.
Right? And then we went to a playground I still remember it was down the peninsula in Melbourne. He's up on the fort kind of playground, hanging on to the 2, walking across a rope bridge.
Yeah.
He just goes, Dad! And just, there was an explosion. No nappy on. And
he had no pants on. I had normal pants on,
undies and pants on,
and so there's an explosion in the pants.
There was an explosion in the pants, and I just had to throw them in the bin. Apologise to the people up the peninsula.
The weird part is it goes full circle because as you get older,
that's what happens.
That's what happens again. You go back to that.
You're down the park.
I'm sorry if we look.
Maybe we should get our topics, Glenn. Like we've talked about this enough.
I don't know how Sam is going to take any of that.
I know, and translate it into a topic
for
us.
I think Sam. do us a favour.
Don't.
Get us away.
Yeah. What are the two topics? We've got to work out how they're related. That's all we do on this podcast. What are the topics, Sam?
Schnitzels and Marching.
Well, you wouldn't want to go marching with shit in your pants.
Schnitz. She almost got schnitz and shits mixed up.
Oh, she did.
Shits in the marching. Well, I got to say, one of my favourite things, schnitzel. Love a schnitzel.
I
Love
think
a
if they
good
did a
schnitzel.
word count on the word schnitzel, it would probably be the number one word ever spoken about on this podcast because it is, of course, both of our death row meal.
Schnitzels.
That's schnitzels, it is. With salad.
I'm having chips, yeah.
Salad and chips. Would you, if I gave you the option, would you throw mashed potato in there?
Nah. Even though mashed potatoes good,
And gravy?
I don't mind a bit of gravy.
See, I'm not big on the gravy. I don't, because it doesn't go with the salad.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And would your schnitzel be deep fried or pan fried?
Pan fried.
Pan fried with extra oil.
Yeah, and butter.
Yeah.
Use a bit of butter. I've been through all the butchers in the local area to find the best schnitzel because, they all make them there or they bring them in or whatever.
Yep.
The best one I've found is at Albert's, which is a mini supermarket, and he gets them bought in. They're obviously crumbed somewhere, but they are the best ones I've found. They're pre-crumbed.
Yeah, but you haven't lived until you've had a schnitzel made with panko crumbs?
Yeah, well, yeah. Most of them made with panko crumbs these days, I think.
Oh, I apologise. Oh,
I think a lot of them are.
I'm embarrassed because I thought
they're all the Japanese.
I thought it was Japanese.
Yeah, but now you panko
How
crumbs.
dare Japanese chime in on a good... What is... It's Austrian, isn't it? German?
It's Austrian.
Schnitzel?
Well, you know what? There is an argument whether the Italians invented it because when you go to an Italian restaurant and there's pork coletto or coletto it's called, that's a schnitzel. There's an argument because the Romans had schnitzels, apparently. They crumbed.
It's not a very Roman meal, but anyway. Yeah,
apparently they crumbed chicken or pork or whatever, but the Austrians are the ones that made it famous with Wiener Schnitzel.
Did you not write a book?
Everything tastes better crumbed.
Everything tastes better crumbed.
Which I didn't even come up with. The chef at a local restaurant when I was living in Footscray said it to me. He goes, everything tastes better crumbed.
I think it's quite... Well, we came up on this podcast, anything in a ball is tasty.
Yes, true. So, yeah, they do argue, the Swiss and the Austrians, about who made the schnitzels. Because if you go to Germany, they also do a very good schnitzel.
It all goes back to the Greek, the
Egyptians,
Egyptians.
I think the Egyptians might have had crumbs
because they're probably in the
tombs.
tombs. They probably found an old schnitzel in there that's still crumbed and probably wrapped in a bit of silver paper. It probably held on.
You know who does a good schnitzel is Schnitz, that chain, which I don't know if it's in other states.
I don't want to say anything too bad, but I've had some disappointing ones from them.
I've had some good ones.
Really? Because they're deep fried.
No, they're not. They're pan fried. They're pan fried
schnitz.
schnitz.
Hang on. We've got an argument going on here.
They're pan fried.
You sure about that?
Yeah, I'm sure.
You know how you tell? Because the ends get a bit hard.
Yeah. Sure, they're pan fried. That's how they advertise them, as pan fried.
Oh, well, I'm an idiot then.
But you know what? If you get a good deep fried schnitzel in a proper restaurant, they can be good.
Well, at the pub we go to, they're deep fried there.
You don't like them?
Look, they're not bad.
Oh, the one that we go to?
Yeah, they're not bad.
They're deep fried.
Yeah, they're absolutely deep fried. So, and the thing is...
That's the traditional way of doing them, isn't it, though? Sort of the European way of doing schnitzel.
Know. Yeah. If you were on MasterChef and they said, make a favourite Sunday night meal, I reckon you'd do schnitzel.
Yeah, but schnitzels, you can easily fuck them up. That's the problem with them. Because it's the cooking time and the temperature of the oil and the butter and all that.
So it's flour and egg and...
You go flour, you wash the chicken. Well, I mean, you can have pork or beef even.
Veal.
Veal
schnitzel is well-renowned, is it not?
It's nice.
For me, that was the first schnitzel I had, would have been veal.
When we were growing up, that was the one you would get.
The chicken...
Chicken was rarer.
Yeah, it was.
Now it's very common. It's more common than anything, chicken schnitzel now. But if you go to European countries, it's often pork too. Pork schnitzel. Anyway, so you wash the chicken, you put it in flour. Egg.
Flip, flap.
And then in crumbs.
And then crumbs, flip, flap.
Okay, push it down, make sure. Ideally, I think you put it in the fridge for a bit to kind of...
Oh, gee, you're good.
But then you just get a fry pan.
That's the cooking
half
news.
oil, half butter.
I've never heard of the butter thing.
Yeah. You know who told me that?
Kate Langbrook.
Chef Jones. Famous chef.
He's quite a good-looking guy.
He's one of the French chefs. Who's the other French chef? Might have been the other French chef that told me.
The one with the accent.
Yeah. There's Jeff Jantz, and there's...
He's not French, is he?
Oh, he's Sri Lankan, maybe, actually. I'm thinking of the French chef.
Yeah, I know.
I can't remember his name.
I'm tired.
Anyway, we've had a noble moment with the French chef.
Hello, Ross.
He had a TV show. He told me...
Gerard Depardieu, no. Do we have... I really want to know who that was.
Sam, who's the French chef? Come on.
You're thinking of Gabriel Gatte.
Oh!
Yes. And there's Manu. He's French too, but Gabriel Gatte is the man who I'm thinking of.
I met Monet. What's his name?
Manu, isn't it? Manu.
He's a very nice man. I know,
Very nice.
and he's very good looking.
He is.
Quite striking. He's not French, though. He's Spanish, isn't he?
Manu's French. I'm sure he's French.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Sam? No, he's French.
Is he?
Yes, he's French. He's French. Definitely.
Oh, that's embarrassing. I thought he was Spanish. Because of his dark skin.
Oh, yeah, but you go to France, there's dark-skinned people.
Now
Dark-skinned
really
people near the Spanish border.
Oh, that's true.
Anyway, whatever. Gabriel Gatte, he told me, because we had him do a radio thing.
And he said to you,
And he cooked us...
Dad, listen to me. I want to tell you something.
He was cooking
about
actually
the
bull's
schnitzels.
testicles or something gross to eat. I can't remember what it was. And he said, listen, you have to... It's half butter, half oil in a hot pan.
Up butter, up oil.
But the trick is not to burn it because butter and oil burn, or butter in particular burns very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And so you've got to get it at the right temperature, put the schnitzel in, one side, and then maybe put it in the oven to finish it off.
What?
You can put it in the oven to finish it off.
I thought you put them on a rack to let it...
Drip all the oil off. You're
Yeah.
right. I actually did it. You know what? I'm getting flashbacks now. Oh, what was that show?
Wasn't it?
Postcards.
Yeah,
Not
yes.
Postcards. Something like Postcards. It was a Channel 9 show where they got me to do a story where we went around to pubs and we tried to find the best Parmigiana.
Oh, really?
In Melbourne.
Sounds perfect for you.
Yeah, perfect for me. And the chef took me in the kitchen in a pub that's no longer there in South Melbourne, and he did it in the pan, and then he finished it off in the oven just to make sure it was cooked. Yeah. But anyway.
We think it would be cooked. Having said that, you want to make sure chicken is cooked because you can end up with a very upset stomach.
Absolutely. Well, like at Lawn, where I holiday down on the coast, the guy at the pub told me that during summer they sell over 300 Parmigianas. They get them done somewhere else. He goes, we can't physically do that amount of Parmigianas.
Meaning putting the chicken with the ham, with the thing, and the thing.
And crumbed, yeah. They come in from...
Here's a dumb question.
There's a Parmigiana factory somewhere in Melbourne where they're making Parmigianas.
So, can I just ask, this is really dumb, but I can't remember the last time I had a Parmesan. So, there's a crumb chicken, and then they place ham on top of that, and then they place cheese on top of that. Is that it?
No, and tomato sauce. It's tomato sauce.
So, when you say they're pre-making them, what are they doing to pre-make them? What's so...
They're getting the schnitzel. They're making the schnitzel.
Yeah.
They're putting the ham on the top.
Right.
They're putting the cheese on the top, and they're putting the sauce on top of that.
Oh, right.
And they're probably pre-cooking it a bit, I reckon.
So when it turns up, it goes, these are ready to go.
And I reckon they just heat them up in the microwave or in the oven.
So
they're probably not going to be A1, are they?
No.
No.
But they wouldn't be too bad.
No.
I've got to admit, I believe that the Parma, too much food.
Yes, I agree.
I see them when people bring them out and you go, I could not eat all of that.
It's because you're getting older. We're back to your care package. No Parmas. Write that in. P.S. No Parmas.
No, but
Schnitzel only.
Schnitzel only. You know what? I would say schnitzel only, tenderloin schnitzel.
Oh.
Because you can have a tenderloin schnitzel, which I get from the local shop that I took you to.
That's like a kid's meal.
Sorry?
That's a kid's meal, tenderloin. Tenders. You're going to get the tendies for Glenn? We're back to the bloody advanced care package.
No, I've got to...
Glenn wants 4 tendies.
You are...
That's like one up from a nugget.
Are you telling me that a tenderloin is not a delicious item?
They are beautiful. We have them
So
sometimes
what is
at
wrong
home.
with them being crumbed?
We have crumb tenders at home. Absolutely.
Okay, there
but
you
they
go.
are associated with children.
No, the nuggets associated with children.
But tenders are too.
Are they?
Yeah, I reckon.
Because that's on the kids' menu.
Yes, tenders, you see. On pubs that don't want to do nuggets, they'll do tenders.
Okay, I know the answer to this question. If you went to it and they said you can have crumb tenders or you can have schnitzel or Parmigiana, I'll give you a choice of 3.
Mm-hmm.
Parmigiana, standard schnitzel, which has been put through a roller, which is half the size of a big the plate.
I'll just answer straight away. Schnitzel.
I would go tenders.
Okay. How old are you?
But hang on, you're getting that it's in perfect cutting position. With a schnitzel, you've got to negotiate the plate.
Yeah, but if it's a good schnitzel, why?
Because I sort of cut in here, I'm cutting. It's like I'm invading Poland or something. I'm invading that bit of schnitzel, and then I'm going, okay, come back around to the west flank and come up through there.
But as the schnitzel comes out, I always say to my kids, I've never seen a chicken that big.
That's what I just said, though. They put them through a roller.
Yeah, they make them, well, they bang them with a hammer.
I'm really disappointed that I thought tenderloin was a top shelf item, and I'm disappointed that I am being equated to being a child. Because
I don't think you're going to find tenders on any posh restaurant menu.
Here's what you do. Here's what I did the other day.
What's his tendies?
We didn't eat them all. Didn't eat all the tendies, okay?
How many did you get in the serve?
Didn't eat them all. Put them in the fridge. Next day, got a wrap. Got a bit of
that's good.
Put a wrap with a bit of mayonnaise and a bit of lettuce and a bit of cheese. Get out of town.
Beautiful. Any money, though, when you go to the pub and order your tendies, you can probably also get in that deal the dessert, which is ice cream and topping.
Oh, how good is ice cream and topping?
Again, that's a children's item.
Yeah, but
I know it's good.
You would secretly because you probably got some overdone cake,
Yum.
and you're going, I can't eat all this, and looking over at me with my ice cream with a little baby spoon, and scraping and Dave would be going, I wish I'd got the ice cream. I really wish. And you would have gone. The joke would be on you.
Where's Glenn? He's in the ballroom.
Yeah, that's my advanced care.
Advanced care.
I would.
Ice cream and topping.
Yeah, 3 scoops with strawberries.
Three.
Yeah,
Bit much. Maybe one.
Maybe one. But
schnitzels.
they need some more questions on there, don't they?
They do. Have we done enough talk on schnitzels? They are a great item. They've been around forever.
They are German, Austrian,
Italian, possibly.
Possibly Italian, so we haven't helped. And Ross,
and also Asia, you get schnitzels.
Because this is what I said it to Tom Elliott then at 3AW the other day.
Oh yes, Tom.
I said, what is it with Japanese food taking over from Italian food by using? And he goes, no. The Japanese did have
schnitzels
like that, so it's not a steal.
They have crumb food in Japan. Yeah.
So then I felt stupid in front of Tom Elliott because he knows everything.
Apparently. Well,
he's a nice guy though. He wasn't being. He's a lovely guy.
He's got a lot of knowledge. Tom Elliott.
He was a Rhodes Scholar or something, wasn't he?
Yeah, but
didn't he go to Oxford or something?
He did, Oxford or Cambridge, but his dad probably paid for it. I don't know. How's it work?
How's
it work when you're loaded?
He's on this 9 Media with us, so we have to be very careful what we say.
Yeah. Okay, his dad didn't pay for it.
I get him very well with him. I think he's a great guy.
No, I used to do radio with him. Absolutely.
No, I work with him now, so I'm better.
Go and have your tendies meal with him, and he'll mock you like I mock you. Glenn, you're having tendies.
You know what? Next time you have tendies, you will think of me, and you will go. You will go because I'll finish on this. No part of the schnitzel gets as thick as a tendy.
No, you're right.
Because they squeeze it out. It's all skinny. It's all skinny meat. Whereas a tendy, you get the lush, big chunks of meat.
Do you have a babuccino with it? The babuccino. All right, we're going to talk about
marching.
When was the last time you marched, do you reckon?
Have I? You know what?
But there's 2 types of marching. There's military marching.
Yep.
You would have marched as Uncle Arthur. Surely you've marched down the street.
I know this is weird, but I marched. I'm pointing right there. I'm pointing in my
living room.
I marched from here to there.
Why?
And see, there's some stairs over there. I tried to do. Because I'm making myself laugh, I thought I'd march along and I'm going to see if I can turn left and do marching without losing a beat. You watch, see if I can do it.
Okay.
Do you want to film this?
Yeah, sure.
Because I reckon I'm good at marching and I could. I tried to do a turn and go up my stairs.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, pretty good. But did you march as a kid or... I remember marching in Scouts. Because we...
No, school, in the quadrangle.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We would have marched out, and I was leader of the school ball, so we had to march out to form all the lines for that.
School ball?
We had a school ball.
In primary school?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was leader, and on the day of it was a big life affirm. It was a big moment in my life because I was leader of the school, and on the day, I got nervous and went, I don't think I can do it. And Mum said, well, you don't have to do it if you don't want it. And I wish she had made me do it because I know I went to school the next day, I let a lot of people down. Sandra Page, I let Sandra Page down.
Sandra, who was a female leader.
Yep. And I got stage fright and I didn't do it. And I thought, I'm never going to let that happen again. So I,
Disappointing.
Yeah.
We marched in Scouts because we used to go on the Anzac parade or
comes Dave.
Something.
Yep, you would have.
And I reckon about...
Did you hold up one of those things with the,
a banner.
4th Oakley or something?
Yes,
yeah.
First Mitcham.
Yeah.
And I reckon even maybe 10 years ago, we went to... Dad had something to do with the Anzac Day again, the memorial service in the park in Mitcham.
Yeah.
And then me and my kids and all the soldiers and the scouts, we all marched down the road to the RSL. And my kids found it very funny. But my dad was a good marcher because he was in the Air Force and the Romans used to march. We talked about Romans before.
Well, it's about being
disciplined?
Discipline, unity, strength, clarity. Coordination, yeah.
So there's that type of march, right? The military march.
Yep.
Then there's the other type of march, I reckon, the protest march. So when you think of Northern Ireland...
think of that.
Like like I've marched in like anti-war march when, when the Americans and the Australians, John Howard, when they invaded Iraq.
Yep.
Weapons of mass destruction. Didn't find any. Yeah, we went on the march. It was huge in the city.
Good on you.
Yeah, I've been on a peace march.
Oh, you're an old hippie, aren't you? You're probably off your face on drugs or something. You probably started
mushrooms,
starting things, fires.
So that's the other type of march. You've never done a protest march where you stood behind a banner and walked down the street?
Oh, I might have. I think that
probably a teachers' college. Did they have any protests where they bang on the drum?
You know me. I was a drama student. I mean, which is, probably should have done
you
something.
You should have been in a black leotard.
But I wasn't, I wasn't up to speed on all that stuff.
I can imagine you in a black leotard with nuclear waste or something.
Oh, yeah, with the face all white going, and then doing some mime or something.
Yes, in the front
ban
of the march.
Ban the bomb.
Ban the bomb, man.
Yeah.
Well, this is interesting because you did get involved in a peace thing because Kira, my wife, still remembers you came along to the peace boogie and you spoke or you got the kids... You were helping them do some sort of drama thing or something.
What?
She remembers it clearly. You were there with other young actors and comedians would have been the 80s.
Yeah, that's when I was studying drama.
Yeah. But no, you're on TV. You're on TV because a kid goes, "Can I ask you about TV?" And you said, "We're not here to talk about that, mate. We're here for the Peace Boogie."
No, she dreamt that.
It was at the Old World Trade Center. Yeah, she's got a good memory. She said it was definitely you.
But how would she know it was me?
Because you're on TV at that stage. You were Uncle Arthur. You're doing Uncle Arthur stuff. And there was you and a few of the other actors were there.
My dementia is really kicking in now because I have
So you have been in a protest thing.
I don't think I have.
I'll ask her again about it if you want. About the Peace Boogie, it was called.
The Peace Boogie?
Yeah, the Peace Boogie.
I may have done it for publicity, but I don't think so. I was never politically minded.
No, but maybe you got roped in by a girl trying to impress someone. You know what I mean?
But I was already on TV.
You were on TV because some kid was asking you about TV and you said, "I'm not here to talk about that."
I would never say something like that. Hey, I'm here about...
Maybe it was Mark Mitchell. Maybe it was someone else. Maybe it was Colin Carpenter. I don't know. I'll find out.
You find out because I've got something that I've got to, have a good look at myself if I was doing that sort of thing. Anyway, so...
Marching.
This is sad because I associate it with those... marching bands that they have in the American in the streets of Disneyland.
Oh yes, New Orleans too.
And there's a big guy up the front with a stick.
Yeah, they used to
with a whistle.
Marching bands were big here in the 70s and the 80s because when I worked at the Red Cross, they had a big open a covered car park, and one of the warehouse guys used to run a marching band. If you left late at work, they'd be in there practicing up and down in the car park. In their uniforms. Marching girls they were.
Yeah.
Which was different to a marching band.
Yeah, and then they would do flips and things and throw people
things
up in the air. And all that. Yeah, it was... But that was a very American thing.
Yeah. marching bands.
We didn't have what about when I went to Edinburgh? The military tattoo would come out every night. Now that's a marching band, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
a bagpipe
marching stuff.
Yeah, and that was fantastic at the Edinburgh Castle, and they were coming down the streets, and there was the bagpipes, and
great.
Yeah, it was really good, and it had that because what do marching bands have to do with armies?
Back to the Romans. They even had people playing instruments then to fire up the soldiers to go into battle and to give them a rhythm to march to, I think it must have been. And so remember like the Civil War, and that you'd see those films where they're marching in, then one of them would get shot.
Civil War,
playing the drum. The drums were big, you know.
And then they will...
and it's flute. To get the people fired up.
Yeah, so it was rousing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was rousing, yeah.
But, you know, you've got to do a lot more than music to make me feel roused about getting my head blown off.
War. Well, simple times, Glenn.
Yeah.
Simple times.
So there are different types. So what I associate also with marching is the goose step.
Oh, yeah, the Nazis. You're talking about the Nazis.
And the Chinese used to do that.
Oh, they do it too, yeah.
Well, number one, I find it quite intimidating.
It is.
Very, because the lines, and the Russians do it.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
When the Russians
do it.
That's
form of it, yeah.
When their legs are so, when they go, shum, 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 shum.
You know who's good at marching now? North Koreans.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so it's normally a country that's got a fascist in charge, and they've got they're marching for their life, basically, I assume.
It really gives a sense of uniformity, of strength, of clarity.
Well, Donald Trump, when he went to Russia and they had a parade and a march, he said, "I want to do this in my country. Why are we doing this? Well, can we get one of these?"
Love marching. Everyone on the line. Looks great. I love it. I love it. Great marches. All ready to go. Let off the guns. Play some bad music. The goose step I find quite scary.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't like to see our Australian soldiers doing that.
No.
Yeah. I mean, I went to the police academy because I got to know the head of the police department, Ashwood.
Yeah.
And he asked
Graham
Ashwood. Yeah. I did some work with him with Russell Court, and he asked me to come along and see the police, and the police all marched out.
Yeah, they march out, don't they?
Yep. Then they had horses coming out, and then they all stepped forward and got their police badge and everything, and they were policemen. And then, you know where they first go when they're a policeman?
Box Hill?
No, the .05. They go out there with the buses.
Oh, the booze bus.
So if you're going through a booze bus, you'll quite often have someone who is fresh.
I thought there'd be like a suburb where they just get sent. Like, you're going to...
You can tell.
You're going to Sunshine.
Yeah, look, there's police listening.
They do look young.
They do an incredible job. They are the front line, and they are doing all the heavy lifting when it comes to the unfortunate, things that happen in our community. And you meet these young people, and you go, "Oh wow," And then you meet an old one who's worked the ropes for a long time,
grizzled copper. Well, let's have some thinking music. What do you think? I think we've talked about marching enough, haven't we? I find it quite rousing.
Marching, it's rousing. It has a sense of energy and force. It has a sense of being as one. One of my favourite marching scenes from a movie was, that's a fact, Jack.
What's that?
Oh, with the guy.
Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah, what's his?
Not Full Metal Jacket, not Jack Nicholson.
No, the comedy guy.
Oh, John Candy, Stripes, not Stripes. Bill Murray.
Bill Murray
in Stripes. That's Stripes. Must be Stripes.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, that's Stripes.
Is it? Right.
I'm sure that's Stripes.
Count off 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a fact, Jack.
That's it.
Yeah. So
what about a make believe?
Yeah. What like?
Well, I mean, I'm obsessed by marching bands. Like, why? How do they choose the music? If you're going into war zones, what sort of music do you choose?
It's meant to be. So, are you thinking?
Is it the guy that leads, the composer guy?
Who's in charge?
Yeah, is it the conductor guy or is it the general?
Why don't we do where the general comes out and speaks to the troops before they go into battle?
Yep.
And he hasn't briefed the band leader.
Okay.
Appropriately.
All right.
All right, listen up, soldiers. We are going into battle. And, it's tough. Some of us will not return. So we want to be as one. We want to be uniform. We want to be strong. And the way to do that, as we always know, is with a band. And when we hear the music, It brings us together because we will fight. We will fight to the death.
Yes, sir.
Now I'm just calling forward the band leader. Come up here, soldier.
Yes, sir.
I want you to play something for our soldiers. Makes them feel strong.
Rousing.
Rousing.
1.
Courageous.
2.
3. Away you go.
4. Rousing. Here come the flutes.
Oh.
2. 3.
No. Stop.
No,
That is
not
not
good.
rousing. It's not courageous. It's not making me feel like I'm going into battle and I'm going to run my sword through someone. I want to be more courageous. I want my men to feel like they can take on anything.
Okay.
To build their souls, to make them feel like they will win.
Here we go again. 2.
No! Look.
Tuba. Quite jolly.
I should have had a meeting with you because these are, I don't want to say, but they are quite off the mark as far as being what soldiers going to battle should really be having. So, look, dig deep.
I'll bring the bagpipes forward.
Okay.
Here we go. Drums.
I like it. Yes, this is good. Oh, yes, bagpipes. Oh, yes. Yes. Now I'm feeling it.
It's a bit like a funeral, though.
Yeah, no, I'm losing it now. Can we lose the bat? Oh. No, it's too depressing. No, something else. Is there something, I don't know, what's the word? Vibrant? Exhilarating? Blood-chilling?
And ready to march.
Put your right foot forward. Put your left foot
singer
out.
as well.
Do the bunny
She's one of the
hop.
corporals.
Hop. Dance this new creation.
Oh, I'm
It's
feeling
the new
it.
Sensation.
I'm doing
Do
it.
the bunny hop.
Hop.
Let's all join in the fun. Father, mother, son.
I've got to
Do
say,
the
I've come
bunny
around.
hop.
I love your taste in music.
Off to war we go.
This is making me feel like I want to run my sword right through someone.
Put your right foot forward, put your left.
Okay. Yeah, there we go. Funny. Was it?
I think it was funny.
All right, what's your guess between marching and schnitzels?
This
connection.
This has
The
to be.
connection
This has
is
to be the
made.
longest bow I've ever. I can't think of anything. All I'm going to say is maybe they beat the chickens with their drumsticks to make them into the flat.
What?
Well, what else could it? How is marching going to have anything to? Is it like? I thought it'd be like the food they made to take down the mines. That it could. Would they take schnitzels while they're marching?
I'm going to say schnitzels were invented for people marching. Maybe the Romans marched on schnitzels.
What do you mean march?
They marched on their stomachs. You know that saying? The soldiers march on their stomachs. Maybe they marched on schnitzels.
It was a bit of a dumb idea that they were making schnitzels with their drumsticks.
Or maybe making schnitzels with their feet.
Maybe they're making. Maybe they just did tenderloins with their drumsticks.
The tenders. Tendies. Glenn's tendies. Tendies. Play the tendies out here. What was the answer, Sam?
The person who popularized schnitzels had a marching tune written in their honor. According to a tale, Field Marshal Joseph Radetzky von Radetz brought the recipe from Italy to Vienna in 1857. 228 is a march composed by Johann Strauss which was first performed on the 31st of August 1848 in Vienna to celebrate the victory of the Austrian Empire under Field Marshal Joseph Radetzky von Radetz over the Italian forces at the Battle of Custoza during the First Italian War of Independence.
Wow, what a guy.
You have been listening to Somehow Related with Glenn Robbins and Dave O'Neill.
What was his name again?
Radevsky or something. Radevsky?
Isn't there? Should be a restaurant called Radevsky's where
Yes.
they only serve because in honor of Radevsky,
Radevsky's.
who was the guy who invented it. So he invented and they named a song after him.
Yeah, I don't think he invented schnitzels, but he certainly he pioneered them in Austria where they became famous.
He stole them.
He was like the colonel of Austria, maybe. Colonel. KFC.
There isn't a because you've got KFC, you've got hamburger joints, you've got drive-through. I just think that there's a yearning for a drive-through.
Schnitzel.
You know what I have at McDonald's? I often do have the snack chicken wrap.
Is that a schnitzel?
It's either pan fried or crumbed.
And is it nice?
I love it.
Really?
Yeah, I only had one a couple of days ago because
Good recommendation.
Because if you go with the whole burger, I mean, half an hour later you don't feel great.
Well, they're full of a lot of stuff.
They're full of, whereas the little snack wraps, a little bit of a wrap with a bit of lettuce and a bit of chicken.
What's in that special sauce?
Well, yeah, I don't know. Who knows?
Anyway.
Maybe I shouldn't say anything. But I was at McDonald's the other day, and I was
So
just.
you go there a lot.
Well, it's a bit of a thing because we go down the beach.
Yeah, it's
and
on the way.
And we pull in and we get petrol. And we get a little snack, and it's probably quite late at night. We sit around, and then you
don't
look
get
at, and you sit around watching other people put food into their face.
You don't get a McFlurry?
It's repulsive watching other people
Yeah.
eat. It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure I look repulsive
You don't get a McFlurry? Or?
because I told you that story, didn't I? When I was going around to a friend's place, and
Yeah. No, go on.
And I was, when you go to someone's place and you go, we're walking, and go, I'm hungry. And mind you probably do at times.
Yeah.
I thought I'll have a burger before I go around there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And he was watching me from. So I parked the car.
That's right.
And he went out on his balcony and he watched me through my sky. What do you call it? My skylight sunroof, eating a McDonald's like I was a rabid dog. And I had the chips going over there, the burger over there, and I probably had a
You
Coke.
peeled off the top of the burger, you put the chips inside the burger.
And he just said, I went up to the front door and he went, that was repulsive. I said, what? He goes, I watched you eat that burger. When I go to certain shopping centres, I don't...
Don't go to the food court.
I'm going to make a big statement here. I don't like going out for lunch because I don't want to watch other people eat.
Oh, there we go.
That's a big statement.
You want to go and have your tendies by yourself somewhere.
I want to have something that's quick and easy, and tendies fit that model perfectly. But I don't want to watch you slurp your soup with your spaghetti bolognese on a fork, and it's all going everywhere, and then a third course of you trying to make your way through some sort of exotic cake. I don't want to do that. I want to have a chat with you, but I don't want to watch you eat.
Well, don't we always have food during this podcast? We do.
Well, yeah,
So
but we've
that's
got
off the
other things
table.
to do. But I mean, going out for lunch, you sit at a table just like this one.
Yeah.
And you're surrounded by people
I know.
being, and it goes everywhere.
I know.
And you're just going, oh, yeah.
You should pioneer, and this is a good idea for a business plan for you.
Yeah, great. I love it. What is it?
Foodless lunches.
Now, that is a brilliant idea.
Yeah, foodless lunches. Just go out for
It's
lunch,
like the
but
people who
don't.
came up with that idea. They said, you don't want to go to the charity function, so just send us a bit of money and we won't put the function on, won't cost us to put the function on. We'll just get the money and everyone's done a good thing.
When you start kinder at a posh kinder, they say, do you want to get involved in the fete? We'll have a fete or ball, or you could all donate $100 now. What do you want to do?
Isn't it a great idea? So the foodless lunch.
For people that can afford it. The foodless lunch. Glenn's foodless lunch. Let's have a foodless pub.
We'll have a charity event for somehow we need a charity, by the way, somehow related, where you turn up, you don't eat anything, you don't drink anything, you just stand around.
Yeah, and we know you'll be out the back having your tendies.
I'll be
By
loving 'em.
yourself.